What is Waltonchain? Should you consider them? Hi there, this is Guy from the Coin Bureau, and in this review I will attempt to answer these and many more questions. But before I get going, you have to know that we are not paid or mandated to do any of our reviews. We are research analysts and our summaries are for educational purposes only. Moreover, I'm not your financial advisor and this sure ain't financial advice. Finally, if this is your first time at the Bureau, then you may want to subscribe to keep up to date with our daily coin reviews. Now, with that out of the way, let's take a look at Waltonchain. Waltonchain is a project that is combining blockchain technology with IoT. Essentially, they want to leverage the power of the blockchain when it comes to supply chain management. This will provide a secure and immutable way for a consumer or buyer to verify the authenticity and source of a particular product that has been purchased. This is particularly relevant in this day and age where modern supply chains are extremely complex and extensive data is required about the products. There is also the risk that this data can be manipulated and the supply chain could become compromised. Think about the risks of food supply chains or luxury goods, for example. So, how is Waltonchain going to streamline this? In order to understand, we have to take a closer look at their technology. Waltonchain has called their approach the value of the Internet of Things, VIOT. Through the use of RFID, that's radio frequency identification, and blockchain, records of physical products can now be stored in a secure and immutable digital form. RFID technology uses electromagnetic fields to identify the objects as well as all the information that relates to it. Think origin, route, quality of goods, etc. There are a number of benefits that come with this approach, and they include things like improved security, accurate tracking, anti-counterfeiting, decentralization of records, and reduced labor costs. So once the data has been tracked, it has to move onto a blockchain, in this case, a subchain. This is because Waltonchain uses a main chain and subchain network. Each company that wants to set up their own tracking system on the Waltonchain network will do so in their own subchain. By doing so, these companies can decide how they would like their subchain to function. They can even choose their own consensus method. Yet the real benefit is reduced bloat on the main chain, something that other blockchain projects such as Ethereum have suffered in the past. On these subchains, consensus is achieved through the use of a mechanism called proof of labor. This is used for data exchanges between nodes on the parent chain, child chains, and cross-child chains. Oh, and speaking of the main chain, this acts as the parent that manages various subchains, tracks transactions, and executes smart contracts. This main chain uses a proof of work, proof of stake hybrid, so a decent compromise of security and scalability. Oh yeah, don't worry if any of this is unclear to you. You can read our long-form review, which we've linked to in the description. Anyways, another really important component of the Waltonchain ecosystem has to be their Waltoncoin, with ticker WTC. This is the utility coin on the blockchain and acts as fuel for the network. These tokens will be used for, among other things, staking, issuing subchains, and voting. These were initially issued on the Ethereum blockchain, but have since moved onto the mainnet as a native coin. Coins initially began trading back in 2017 and have been on a wild ride since then. Not only did it have to contend with the general veracity of the recent bull and bear market, but because the project is based in Asia, price was much more susceptible to China or Korea FUD. It reached an all-time high of over $40 in the bull run of 2017, although it has fallen considerably since then. Anyways, let's move on to the broader project, shall we? Waltonchain is based in Korea and China and was initially launched in 2016. The founders have extensive experience in supply chain management and product safety, so no doubt a good fit for Waltonchain. There have also been a number of partners that have got on board with Waltonchain. I won't go into them here, but you can read our long-form review if you want more information. Let's move on to the Waltonchain market, shall we? Currently, WTC is listed on a number of exchanges, including Binance, Waltoncoin, Huobi, OKX, etc. However, the bulk of the volume is taking place on Binance. On these exchange books, there is a healthy turnover, which implies decent liquidity, great for large block orders with little slippage. Once you have your Walton coins, you're going to want to store them in an offline wallet. Which wallet you use depends on the version of the coin that you hold. If these are newer native coin variants, you can only really use Waltonchain's core proprietary wallet. If, however, you still have the older ERC20 variant, then you really have a plethora of options, including hardware wallets. Either way though, you'll probably want to convert these older ERC20 tokens into the newer native coin. This also has the benefit of allowing you to stake on the network and earn WTC in return. Don't leave money on the table. So, what do I really think of Waltonchain? Well, they are no doubt an interesting project that is building technology for a definite use case. Essentially, bringing age-old supply chain processes into the distributed future with blockchain technology. I also like to see projects that are building solutions that impact on the physical, non-financial world. Supply chains are the lifeblood of society, and this is taking them into the 21st century. Waltonchain also seems to have a strong leadership that has forged important partnerships recently. Now, having said all of this, Waltonchain still has one large challenge, and that is VeChain. VeChain is a much more established project which is also focused on tracking supply chains on the blockchain. VeChain is also better known in the West, and they've forged a number of key partnerships with companies in Western markets. At this stage, VeChain still seems like the most attractive project to back on a number of different metrics. Currently, Waltonchain is still quite concentrated in Asia. More awareness of the project is required in other markets if they want to increase adoption of their technologies. Anyhow, what do you think of Waltonchain? Or are you a fan of VeChain? Any questions on this review? Hit me up in the comments below. Oh, and if you found this video helpful, then please do like and subscribe. You don't want to miss more of our in-depth reviews.